In 1977, a little film called Star Wars was released. Maybe you've heard of it? George Lucas was so convinced that the film was going to be an absolute flop, he decided to skip opening day of the movie altogether. So, what did George Lucas do? He went on a vacation to Hawaii with his good friend and also filmmaker Steven Spielberg. So a deal was formed on this vacation that would be pretty lucrative for both, but worked out better for Spielberg as he got part of the profit for all the money made off of Star Wars, and Lucas got all the money made off of Spielberg's newest movie, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Like I said, although Spielberg got the better end of this deal, this wasn't the only important conversation that happened during this trip. Far from it. One day when they were sitting on the beach making a sandcastle, Spielberg expressed his interest to George Lucas about making a James Bond film. But George Lucas wasn't completely up to this. He decided to take a Bond film but turn it on its head. Lucas described it as a film that was similar to Bond but without the hardware. The character's name was Indiana Smith, an archaeologist, but Spielberg didn't necessarily like the surname of Smith. So Lucas and Spielberg compromised on the name Indiana Jones. And just like that, one of the greatest film heroes of all time was born. 4 films of non-stop action, depending on how you feel about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and great performances by Harrison Ford as the titular character led to making a beloved movie franchise. But there is a contingent of the internet out there that believes that Indiana Jones is completely pointless. He's not even the hero in his own movie. So today, we are going to investigate that with Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Welcome to Fluhr Fandom, my name is Tristan, and let's go ahead and start our investigation today. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you do enjoy this video. The main argument that people have against that Jones isn't important in this movie is that the Nazis would have died anyway when they opened up the Ark of the Covenant, because they would have looked and they would have had the wrath of God attack them, like happens in the movie with Jones. And I'm not denying that this is true, because it totally would be true. It would happen either way. But truly, this is the only evidence that shows that Jones wouldn't affect the outcome of the movie at all. For starters, it would have taken the Nazis forever to figure out where the location of the Ark is. Indy finds it on his first try because he has the right materials. The Nazis just dug in the wrong place. Indy got the correct medallion from Marion, and the Nazis would have got it if Indy wasn't there, so the Nazis would have found it a lot sooner, or not at all. So in a deleted scene in the movie, when the medallion's being translated, Indy and Sala learn that inscribed on the medallion it says, "Keep your eyes shut when open." Now, the Nazis probably would have been able to have figured this out if they would have had the correct medallion, but who knows, they may have not been able to translate the inscribings. And quite frankly, I think this is a pretty important deleted scene. I mean, the movie's runtime is pretty long. I think you could have squeezed this little scene in there, though, because I think it shows just how important the process up to finding the Ark really is. But nonetheless, if Indiana Jones hadn't been there, the Nazis could have gotten this information. And then the Ark safely ending up in the libraries of the Smithsonian in the United States is completely because of Indiana Jones. He's able to locate them somehow to the island where him and Marion were trapped by the Nazis and where they tried to open the Ark, and they were able to transport it. And although Indy isn't happy about the way it has been treated by the United States government, he knows that it's in somewhat safe hands, at least safer hands than the Nazis. And so maybe it's better that it wasn't found, but at the same time, if Indy wouldn't have been there, it could have ended up in the wrong hands once again. If you're taking the movie as a whole, there are 2 major possibilities of what happens in the movie without Indy. 1, the Ark of the Covenant is never found because the Nazis are digging in the wrong places for the rest of World War II. Or 2, they find the Ark of the Covenant eventually, and they use the headpiece, the correct one, to figure out where the Ark is located and to not look at it, and the Nazis have power with the Ark of the Covenant. So I think this truly shows that Indiana Jones is an important character, and he is the hero of his own movie, despite those people on the internet that say he's not. Sure, Indy improvises most of his plan, and a lot of his success is because of talent and a little bit of dumb luck. But I think Indy's skills are why the whole thing works. Indiana Jones is why the Nazis are not successful in their mission to recover the Ark of the Covenant, and I think that's enough to make Indiana Jones a hero of the movie, one of the greater heroes in cinema history. If you liked the video, make sure to like and comment. Make sure to subscribe. We have a lot of new content coming here in coming weeks. We have a new style of video next week. We have a series called Versus coming to the channel, so make sure you check that one out next Thursday. For Fluhr Fandom, this has been Tristan. So long.